What's going on there, everyone? Sorry for the couple days of no videos, but I had to, after watching that last Democratic debate, I went camping. I said, I got to clear my head of all this craziness, because I don't know if y'all watched it or not, but wow, that was something else. Something else. Especially old Beto O'Rourke, his little, I'm gonna take your guns. That ain't gonna work out, Mr. Beto. Well, let's get into this story. Because talking about beating a dead horse, this poor guy, Mr. Bret Kavanaugh, seems, I don't know why the leftists think that they should attack him at every point in his life, but another story about him that is patently false. But one of the newest members of the completely fake news has come out, and it's the New York Times. But let's get into this story. New Kavanaugh bombshell leaves out one detail. Alleged victim denies any memory of it. Seems substantial. Seems like that's a pretty big part of the story. Come on, New York Times. Are you serious? Let's get into it. The New York Times on Saturday published a previously unreported account of an alleged sexual misconduct by Supreme Court Justice Bret Kavanaugh when he was an undergrad at Yale University. According to the Times reporter, Robin, Pogrebin, and Katie Kelly, a former Yale classmate of Kavanaugh's, Max Stier, said he once saw the future judge with his pants down at a dorm party while friends pushed his man parts into the hands of a female student. I gotta say, I've been to a lot of wild parties in my young days, and never seen anything quite like what they're describing there. That just seems weird no matter how you look at it. It's not normal. Stier shared his story with senators and the FBI last year during Kavanaugh's confirmation hearing, but the FBI did not investigate it, the reporter said. Yeah, because it's so wacky, and there's no collaborating evidence. Sorry. I know, everyone hates it, but yes, in America we're supposed to go on the presumption of innocence unless there is evidence. And when it comes to Bret Kavanaugh, there's not evidence of any of these things he's been accused of. It's just, this is ridiculous. God dang, that man has lived an exemplary life. Leave him be. Leave him be. Pogrebin and Kelly said they learned of the alleged misconduct during their 10-month investigation of Kavanaugh's life at prep school in Yale for their upcoming book, The Education of Bret Kavanaugh, an investigation. Apparently you can just write books about anything. You know, you just write books about anything. They said they collaborated the story with two officials who have communicated with Stier. However, Molly Hemingway, an editor at The Federalist, tweeted Sunday that the woman Stier reported seeing Kavanaugh expose himself to has no memory of the alleged incident. Hemingway said the book quietly acknowledges this fact, but it goes unmentioned in the excerpt published Saturday. Let's see, I wonder why that is, because maybe because the New York Times loves to peddle fake news. I mean, how many times in the recent couple weeks have they had to retract a story or something? Come on. These places need to be shut down. And we should do our part to get them shut down just by not buying their trash, their smut. It's not even news. It's just they're trying to get dirty laundry that's not even real. Tweets from Molly Hemingway. I haven't really complained about the lack of corporate media coverage of our exhaustively reported and researched book, in part because it's a huge bestseller, so it seems wrong, but comparing it to the coverage of this shockingly weak book is making me want to complain. The book notes quietly that the woman Max Stier named as having been supposedly victimized by Kavanaugh and friends denies any memory of the alleged event. Seems, I don't know, significant? Yeah, I would say so. Considering the person who, you know, supposedly had something happen to them doesn't even remember, like, what these people are talking about. That seems suspect. That seems suspect. Like, this is the alleged victim and she doesn't know what you're talking about and you're going to write a book around this? That seems wow. Wow. Talking about just pathetic. That's absolutely pathetic. In a follow-up tweet, Hemingway called the omission journalistically indefensible. And I agree with that. That's kind of what my brain was going towards, but I didn't want to call these people journalists because they're not journalists for sure, obviously. They can't get any facts straight because they don't actually do research to uncover the actual truth. No, they want to air some dirty laundry. You know, it's so bad. We live in such a sad time where everyone's just chasing likes and stuff like that, man. Everyone's in it for the wrong reasons nowadays. Everyone's in everything for what's really the wrong reasons. Everyone just wants to be popular, wants to have their name known. Why? Why? It's not that big of a deal, especially because you're just peddling false information. Yeah, I want your name to be known too now as a liar. You know, as someone who's not honest, who doesn't have any integrity. That's what you should be known for. New York Times, I think you have already are already known for that. New York Times reporters' essay about a supposed second Yale incident omitted their own book reporting that completely undercuts it. Alleged victim denies any memory of it. Journalistically indefensible, though gullible additional reporters are spreading it, of course. Yep. Yeah, because it's on the anti-Trump side of everything. You know, the anti-conservative side of everything. So, of course, the media is going to have to scoop it up. The left-wing legacy media, they have to scoop it up because they are deranged. You know, they have lost their minds. They're trying to do the same thing everyone else is trying to do. They're trying to get them likes and those ratings up. Trying to use, you know, the little Trump bump, as they say. But it doesn't work out so well when the things you push forward are completely proven false. You know, it kind of does exactly the opposite. Yeah, it puts your name out there, but in the exact opposite way you want it to be out there. Everyone knows you're just a liar. Carrie Severino, Chief Counsel and Policy Director of the Judicial Crisis Network, issued a tweet echoing Hemingway, with whom she co-authored a book about Kavanaugh published in July. Severino also shared a photo of a relevant excerpt from the Education of Bret Kavanaugh. It names the alleged victim as Tracy Harmon Joyce and says she refused to discuss the incident, though several of her friends said she does not recall it. Probably why she refused to discuss it, because it didn't happen. There's no incident to actually discuss. You know? Ay, ay, ay. This is the blockbuster new allegation against Kavanaugh, except it's not actually new. It was shopped to Senate Democrats and the time, and they apparently found it impossible to nail down, so they ignored it. The same senators who found the rape boat allegations plausible. Yeah. Come on, man. This is just pure ridiculousness. Is this, I mean, I can't say is this where we're heading, because this is where we're at. This is sad, people. We need to get control of our government again or something, because they obviously need our help. Everyone seems to need the people's help because no one really cares about educating the people anymore. We got to fight back against this fake news propaganda stuff, people. We really do. Because all they're going to do is just keep feeding you nonsense and hoping some of it sticks. That's what they've been doing for a couple years now. Feeding you a bunch of nonsense and seeing if any of it, you know, if you'll chew on any of it. Without explanation, Pogrebin and Kelly did not name Harmon Joyce in the article or acknowledge reaching out to her. The Times did not immediately respond to the Pluros request for comment. Pluros was not immediately able to obtain a copy of the book, which comes out Tuesday. But liberals are also mad about the handling of the new Bret Kavanaugh allegation. Per usual, on the polarizing issue of Kavanaugh, the left and right reacted very differently to the latest allegation. Liberals voiced outrage that Kavanaugh has been appointed to the Supreme Court, tipping it rightward, despite previous claims of youthful sexual misconduct. Some called for him to be impeached. Without evidence, there's no crime, people. And there is no evidence to any of this, and most of it is clearly fabricated. I mean, come on, how many investigations do you need? This is just leftists trying to do the same thing they did with the Trump-Russia thing. Let's drag it on for as long as possible for no particular win, because y'all aren't gaining from this. It's making the left look even more foolish. It's just showing that they're very bad sports. You know, because they lost something, or feel they've lost something, they're going to pout and moan and cry and look pathetic. Look absolutely pathetic. It's like, come on. Come on. Meanwhile, conservatives slammed the Times for continuing to probe Kavanaugh's life for unverified anecdotes of decades-old boozy misbehavior. And that checks out, too. Because it is nonsense. Leave the guy alone. He's been vetted by the FBI numerous times throughout his career. If he actually did anything wrong, trust me, it would have showed up already. Come on. Can we just say this is ridiculous? Can we just get to the point where if this was happening from the left or right angle, we could call it ridiculous? Because that's what this is. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Well, I'm going to skip through some of this because it's a pretty lengthy article. But on both sides of the partisan divide, though, commentators had questions about the Times' seemingly half-hearted rollout of the Pogrebin and Kelly's reporting. Many Twitter users noted that their work appeared in the opinion section rather than being touted as news. Other observed the articles seemed to downplay the new allegation. Instead, the story was framed around a similar claim by another Kavanaugh's former Yale classmates, Deborah Ramirez, which was first reported last September by the New Yorker's Ronan Farrell. That report came after Christine Blasey Ford publicly accused Kavanaugh of drunkenly assaulting her with his friends in high school, which also there is no actual evidence of. On the left, the Times was also widely criticized for the Saturday tweet promoting Pogrebin and Kelly's article, which suggested having a man part thrusted in your face at a drunken dorm party may seem like a harmless fun. What? I don't know if I agree with that statement, but okay. Amid the backlash, the Times deleted the post saying it had been poorly phrased. You think? These people don't care. They have no journalistic integrity at all. Like I said, they're just going to air dirty laundry. And it has people like me talking about it. So I guess in a way it is somewhat effective. But yeah, it just goes on, it goes to show that you can't trust the New York Times at all anymore, people. It's like The Onion or any of that other nonsense. I mean, all we have is tabloids now. What used to be, leaders in the news, CNN and MSNBC, this, that, and the other, they're all tabloids now. It's hard to find real news. You have to weed through so much to find real news stories. There's so many times where I want to comment on something, and then I just get to reading it, and it's like, this is nonsensical, and I have to bail on it because the story's BS. But it's crazy. I'd love to hear your comments. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you on the flip side.